Good evening, traders. Welcome to the next summary of the day video. I will explain only my point of view, my trade, because honestly later I didn't find any safe opportunity how to join the reaction after my sell, how to join the buyers. Yeah, I've got a lot of messages about how I did this and why I didn't look for a buy, because we had fresh made demand. Yes, and that's why I made some small relation on the Instagram, because also there I've got massive messages how it is possible. The important thing how I started the day, it's that as Jeffrey also mentioned, I couldn't find a solid supply on our standard time frames. So I used the supply from the daily time frame. And please take a look on this leg out. Yes, here was my supply, and it's extremely amazing volume, the highest ever. Wonderful move, because here before we had something which looks like the equal lows on the high time frame, liquidity grab, and then push to the upside, which could be the potential change of structure and continuation of this wave as a bullish, as a next rally. But somehow when price came here to retest the fresh made demand here, then appeared the strong sellers. And here we see how big power there was to break the structure, to change the plans. So it only means and meant for me how many orders were needed then, and how big chance is that there are still some limit orders and someone want to use same price level to make a short. And yeah, let's switch to the M30. And I want to also show you before everything, without these next candles. So I just get here the lower edge of daily supply, my pinky line, and all this here looks like a resistance, equal highs, and it never touched the daily supply. Even if this week by other broker could hit this level, it was still without the deeper invader from the zone. And all this move, it looks like compression, but without this push. So it was something what I was expected. Yes, it was my plan. I visualized in my mind what I am looking for, and it was only one focus: to sell, not to look for a buy. And this is this move here. This is the M30 chart. Looks like the pattern blueprint. Yes, here was the prices was in compression, and it was missing final push. But usually we see this on M5 or M1 time frame to look for a big reversal and to join the winner side by breaking the opposite imbalances. So today it happened on the higher time frame. Yes, it was on the M30. Looks perfect. Yes, it was this move just before Frankfurt opening time. It was the early invitation for sellers. Looks like the fresh made supply maybe, but take a look. It is still resistance from this high, all equal highs. Yes, I'm so sure that here many traders using the double, triple, or even the thinking of strong resistance took the sell from here, and then was boom, just a manipulation for both sides. Yes, the early sellers were taken, and this price action here with a leg out looks like a demand zone. But if we see the compression here, the equal highs before and the push, I wouldn't look for how to join the buyers from imbalance or from the zone, because it would be too beautiful. And this is opposite to our way of thinking here. We are looking for a liquidity, not how to join the typical break of structure strategy. Yes, if someone jumped here too early as a sell, was kicked out, and then maybe he was under the pressure, under emotions, and he saw the beautiful hard push, he in panic probably tried, or she, to join the market once again as the opposite side. And what happened? Second loss. This is what we are looking for, liquidity. Yes, so if you see move like this, very specific move, yes, ups and downs with a lot of wicks, please always wait for the last push. Even if the price, if the market wanted to drop from here, this would be for me any missing trade, because I am always waiting for this last push. Sometimes it's happening, sometimes some of you are taking these trades, but I am always waiting for this. This is in my plan, and I love to see that, especially that price was missing this supply. Even then, sorry, I have still problems with my throat. Need one drink. Okay, even in lower time frames, like for example M5, there's another compression before the last push. Yes, here was the early invitation for sellers, and then once again, this is like a fractal. Yes, we lowered the time frame now, and same move. The typical compression and then last push. My apologies. So it was, of course, I was feeling very good when I saw this when it was happening. I was sitting in front of charts. A lot of you wrote on the chat, what's going on, what the fuck, and something like this. It was the realization of the visualization. It was preparing for the big plan. And then on the M1 time frame, the dangerous moment was when price was sitting in this range. Here was the big 50 imbalance on the ask side, and here on the bid 52, not 50, sorry. Two big imbalances, and price was ranging here. Here broke the structure, I agree. But if someone took here a buy, it should be to have in mind that here we have the fresh made supply. Okay, without the last push, could be money here, but it was targeting blind. Yes, it was far away to the left to find some good level. So I was waiting all the time in front of charts, looking for a lower push. Here could be one aggressive entry. I will switch now to the footprint. The very aggressive entry could be here. I also marked this level. It was 27 to the 0, good imbalance, and it was later broken. But the distance was, of course, very strong. It should be very big belief that this one candle is a liquidity grab. Yes, I marked here a lot of imbalances, like a hourglass, very thin in the middle, and once again thick on the bottom. And I also didn't like here the huge sell order placed at the top of the bearish candle. It could be the sign that this is just a short-term sell, maybe to invite more traders to make bigger panic or manipulation. So it's for me very important when I see big order on bearish candle on top of this candle, it could be the sign of long term. And when I see the big order like here, yes, almost at the beginning of the bullish candle, it could be also the sign at a long-term buy. So it was just a range, nicely confirmed later. Then appeared really strong sellers, very strong sellers, but this imbalance was still holding the price. It was the ping pong, nothing clean. Yes, he was just guessing where the price want to go. Because for us, if we treat some move as a liquidity grab, as this one candle, the imbalance need to be broken and then give us a safe invitation to take this trade. Yeah, the danger was here just sitting on this lower edge of supply. Price didn't want to go down. Let's check this one candle. When price went down, weak means that buyers still were pushing up. 11.45. It was here. After this one candle, I was waiting how to join, but do you see here any imbalance? How to join the market? And the second thing is we always need to wait for a candle closure, as I'm not setting any pending orders, limit orders, or just sometimes I am joining because of my impatience, like 8-10 seconds before candle closure. But usually you can also see this on my statements. I am jumping 2-3 seconds before entry or 1 second after opening of new candle. It is very important. That's why I use the show pips indicator to see how many seconds left to close of the candle. It's very important, because if this candle was strong, then by waiting maybe for some heavy sell cluster, you wanted to join the market, but the candle closed above it, so it's making the sell setup invalid. 2 times lower volume, great, but the candle closed above. Even if he will be imbalances, this is invalid. Yes, price need to calm down at imbalance or strong order or point of control. The decreasing volume is for some reason. Yes, I treat this as a very safe entry, and if this is not happening, I am leaving. Yes, this is the patience game. Today the liquidity was creating very long time. The next candle, as price missed, didn't want to go below the edge of supply, didn't want to break finally completely break the imbalances from the big bullish candle. Here we see very heavy order at the end of a bullish candle, so could be the sign maybe price really want to go up and take these highs here. Maybe something is still above. But it was absorbed. Yes, the bullish power were absorbed by sellers. Look guys, 3 minutes later, heavy order at the bottom of bearish candle. They were very active. Heavy order on bullish candle, which made the delta negative. Insane. Yes. Also here, once again, big heavy cluster at the beginning of bullish candle. So it means probably short-term buy, as just a reaction. They were still manipulating and making mess in our traders' minds. Beautiful. As I said, this is just a patience game to see a clean invitation. Then I was honestly looking at the entry here at 12.21. I was very close to pull my trigger. Let's check this candle. Yeah, it is this one. Heavy order at the end of candle and imbalance. And I just noticed that the imbalance is very small. Yes, even my chart and the tool on my chart, the candlestick chart, didn't show this. That's because I have set my indicator as at least 15. So it didn't show me, and I just noticed that it is still support. Price can bounce. It was really maybe millisecond before I pulled the trigger. So always analyze. This is the brain need to work very fast and analyze every possibilities. If this is safe, if it is not. So yeah, good volume, decreasing volume over 2 times lower, but still support. Yes, it just looks like breaking of this previous low, but it was sitting here on perfect line, perfect support. So everything still could happen. Push up, maybe manipulation, maybe break of this structure, yes, as a break of trend line. And what happened? This one candle came back, yes, below the trend line. And here we have imbalance. So it was beginning of break of structure. 33 on the bid side, perfect. I treat this as a strong imbalance. But then happened a bullish move. I was also very close for a second time today to pull the trigger. I just didn't like how this candle opened. It opened a bit above closure of the previous candle and closed above this imbalance. I didn't like this. I was just confused if this is still good, and then came very fast the thought that this is not break of structure, still not. Yes, here looks like this is one support, and price is sitting maybe here's demand. Yes, with this leg out, who knows? So for a second time, I felt that I need to be concentrated because it is very hot price action, and then 3 candles later, boom, break of structure. Oh, sorry. Break of structure, and I was just waiting for price to came back to sit on my imbalance, and it was perfect, sitting also below the lower edge of supply. If the volume would be here increasing, I would leave this setup, because increasing volume below the zone, even just by small candles, could be a sign that they are accumulating the power to break it, yes, to make some move, who could know where. But the volume was decreasing. Let's check my candle. It was, yeah, this one. It has 118 volume. Here I almost pulled the trigger, yes, but I wasn't sure if this is the correct idea, because there was no break of structure, and here it was. Price came back. Look at this volume here. From 28 and 20 in positive delta, big change to the -5. And then 13, 17, 21, 20, 17, 15. Very low volume. After this big bearish push to the downside and break of structure. Yeah, so it was low volume, delta. Also the delta on M5 was all the time, most of the time, negative. And it was for me, yeah, invitation to take a trade. Even by all these rejection weeks. After the first push, 2 minutes in my trade, I was happy. Oh yeah, I'm catching the momentum, but how disappointed I was when price was sitting here. So it wasn't perfect entry. Honestly, it was a bit stressed to be in this range. But yeah, when I was in trade, I was just believing that these highs don't want to be taken, and I believed on my view that everything happened, all my criteria are met, liquidity grab from higher time frame confirmations about supply, break of structure, decreasing volume on the imbalance, which broke the structure. Also, we were below this freaky range, so it was already price action here below this imbalance. Yes, the main one, as a proof that this was just a liquidity grab, not an invitation to take a buy. Even if this looks like a demand, our strategy would be invalid. I know that it can be messy sometimes and not clean, that sometimes we need time after all to analyze what went wrong, but also here, yes, if we see the liquidity grab, usually here's made the demand. So if imbalance from liquidity graph is broken, we are not looking how to join the buyers because here's fresh made demand, but we are looking how to join the sellers. But as I said before, usually we see this on M1 and M5 time frame to look for entries, but today the whole setup appeared on the higher time frames, and even now on M1 it looks like the compression on all time frames. But when I was doing my markups, I was only focused on the M30, and here was the whole move to the upside, whole Asian session. It was one big compression. So they were shiny going up to deliver the price to the supply to make a trade of day. And how I managed this, after first few minutes with some stress, yeah, but that's why we have risk management. Yes, I was risking 1%, and sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. So I had this, of course, in my mind. But everything was with my plan. And honestly, I moved my stop loss just once, because when I saw how on our chart some confusion, I was also not happy if the price really want to go to the previous VWAP. Yes, here from here I marked my VWAP, and yeah, it worked fantastic. Same as yesterday. Yesterday the price was also delivered from the lower daily supply to the previous day VWAP from Friday. These are very powerful levels, but I prefer to treat these as a take profit levels, not as a jump to the trade. So here we had very strong supply, and the beauty of managing on the M5, if you are aiming for a bigger wave, is to watch the imbalances. Take a look. This supply was hold the price. Yes, I'm not drawn perfectly. It was just rejection. Then we had big imbalance, same as my entry. We have 30 on the bid side. Holded the price here. He once again 18 on the bid side. Also good imbalance with my criteria above 15. Also hold the price. Yes, this one kind of tried to break it, but another one as a two candles similar in one. So this is rejection candle. So once again it holded the price. Perfect. Yes, just three moments when the price really could break the structure and start new wave. But these three levels holded my position. And what is interesting, my TP level, where it is here. If you was on the webinar on Friday, or if you saw the video, the recording, I drew. It was very similar situation. On the webinar, we were on the supply. We were looking for a drop and the safe TP. It was some bigger nice wave. Here's also look at the time 00. It's a midnight, and the high spread area. Yes, for 1 hour it was high spread area. So I was TPing, new word, on the same price level as on our webinar. This is what I call the repeatable moves. So from big supply to in this case to the area where the big spread was. Yes, because here started the whole big compression to just shiny deliver the price with a shot to the supply. I hope that this is clear for you. If you have any questions, really ask on the private message, or the best way is on the main chat, because there are plenty of experienced traders, and I see that some really like to help the others, and I'm answering as I can, sometimes with delays. But he was just the price action today was a waiting time. And always try to think, if the price is ranging for a while, how big move we can expect. So that's why I changed my view about TPs, because if, like here, it was so creating the liquidity, inviting people, some break of structures to invite buyers or too early sellers, aiming just for a 15 pips as I used to do would be just just a small piece of cake, too small piece. If I'm waiting so long, it is nice to get really better results and trade 1 or 2 times a week. This is my goal, to decrease it to the just 1 trade a day. Yeah, but today it wasn't possible to get more than 10R in my case. I'm always using only 3 pips stop loss, never just 2. So to get 15R, who could know that price want to reject from here? And lower, I didn't see any safe TP, because I am still not so maybe patient, or I don't feel so confident to try to expect bigger moves. Now I just jumped aggressively from 15 pips to 30 pips, but this wave as to the imbalance, I marked all to take this equal lows to the demand as 85 pips. I know that these are sometimes days like that. Maybe one day I will find another way to feel safer with bigger waves. But now I love the VWAPs, and yeah, it was just hard today to sit in front of charts 3 hours. And I came later for my kid to kindergarten for a half hour too late. This it was my price. So yeah, if you have any questions, I will be tomorrow also trying to catch some trade. Stay safe and thank you for watching.